Welcome back. Well, the FBI is finally caving, now allowing the entire House Oversight Committee to view that subpoenaed document in question. That document, of course, allegedly says then Vice President Joe Biden was involved in a $5 million criminal bribery scheme where he accepted money for policy decisions. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer is accepting the Bureau's offer and canceling the committee's plan to vote to hold the director, Christopher Wray, in contempt of Congress. Former Attorney General Bill Barr is speaking out about this, slamming Congressman Jamie Raskin and the White House's claim that the Trump DOJ investigated the document and dismissed it. Barr telling Fox News and The Federalist, quote, "It was not closed down. On the contrary, it was sent to Delaware for further investigation." Joining me right now is Georgia Congressman, member of the House Appropriations Committee, Andrew Clyde, who is also on the Appropriations Subcommittee that oversees funding for the FBI, among other agencies. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here.
Good morning, Maria.
What can you tell us about this document and what we will learn once the Oversight Committee sees it?
Well, I'm very, very thankful for Oversight Chairman Jamie Comer in forcing the FBI to cave on this issue. As you mentioned, this is critical for the American people to know this, for Congress to know this. We have the oversight authority over the FBI, and they have to learn that, that they are accountable to us, to the American people through us. And that has not been the case. That is starting to turn around, and we look forward to delivering that accountability. And as part of the appropriation process, a new appropriator, conservative one, I look forward to assisting the Oversight Committee in holding the FBI and the entire Department of Justice accountable through the appropriations process.
Well, I mean, if this is true that Joe Biden has been selling influence and pocketing the money and making policy decisions based on how much money he and his family is paid, this puts the U.S. in a very vulnerable position. How long has this been going on?
You're absolutely right. It puts the United States in an incredibly vulnerable position on multiple levels, especially national security. I don't think we've ever seen this level of corruption ever in an executive, a vice president. So we don't know how long this has been going on. We have an idea here from this document, but how many others are there? And not only does the Oversight Committee need to see this, but the Judiciary Committee and the Appropriations Committee needs to see this document. And I think eventually the American people need to see it too.
Yeah, I mean, Congressman, what is the plan for the Appropriations Committee now that the debt ceiling bill is complete? Earlier this week, I spoke with Georgia Congressman Doug Collins about the new rules around the appropriations process and whether or not the House still has the power of the purse to really hold back funding. Watch this.
All they talk about is freezing spending. If you're going to ever get the debt under control, you have to actually cut spending. There will always be a debt, and there'll always be a need to increase the debt ceiling. That's a problem nobody wanted to talk about. The second part, as you look at the spending bill here, is that if you go to a 1% cut where they say 1% cut on defense and 1% cut on the other non-discretionaries, understand 1% will come out of DOD, period, and 1% will be spread over the rest of government.
Yeah, so defense really takes a bigger hit than other things if that 1% cut goes in place. But I want to get your take on the appropriations process and whether or not the House is going to be able to hold back funding for things like the FBI new headquarters.
Well, I'll tell you, Maria, that just because the top number is agreed upon in the debt ceiling doesn't mean that we as appropriators have to actually fund to that top line number. I don't think that's going to be the process here. I think we are actually going to be funding at a much lower level, which is in line with cutting spending on a larger basis. So that's where appropriations needs to go. That's where we need to go to be financially, fiscally responsible in this nation, because we've got to bend this curve of debt down, not let it go continually up and up and up.
Well, it's pretty extraordinary that after all we've learned about the FBI and the political bias at the top of the Bureau, that they still are demanding this very expensive new headquarters. $3.5 billion for a new headquarters they want it to be bigger than the Pentagon. Here's the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, who joined me on Sunday on this topic. Watch.
The FBI wants a new headquarters. If you look at, in today's dollars, what the Pentagon costs is about $900 million. They want to spend roughly $4 billion to start. 4 times the sentence. I do not think that's the best use of our money. I also wonder, do we need one big, large FBI building? And does it need to be back in Virginia? Or should it be in Maryland? Or should it be in Texas if you're doing cybersecurity or others? I think it's responsible that they come in and do their job. But if that's the argument, wouldn't it be better if we had smaller offices across the country where FBI agents could help local law enforcement to solve human trafficking, to solve cybersecurity?
Congressman, are you going to be able to hold the line on appropriations on that headquarters?
I believe we will. I think they've got about $1.2 billion already in advanced appropriations to fund that building, and I look forward to removing that advanced appropriations and clawing that money back, because in my opinion, they don't need a new FBI building. I think what the Speaker said about smaller buildings across the country so we can spread the FBI out, I think is a great idea, and I look forward to appropriating to that.
Tiana was with me this morning. Tiana, jump in.
Congressman, I just want to ask about the standoff between the House Freedom Caucus and GOP House leadership related to your specific pistol brace rule legislation. You've characterized it as a threat that McCarthy threatened you to get this debt limit deal done, and now they aren't bringing your bill to rein in the ATF to the floor. Has there been any progress on that? McCarthy has blamed Scalise to the Washington Examiner, but who's at fault? Who's at fault here?
Well, they are bringing it to the floor. It's going to come to the floor on Tuesday, and I look forward to the House passing it on Tuesday. I'm very thankful for that. You know, we are holding leadership accountable to that commitment, and I think that's going to be a win for the American people across the board. The Senate will pick it up shortly after that and then deliver it to Joe Biden's desk for his signature.
And so then, Congressman, what happened with the standoff?
I will tell you that that we came to an agreement on my particular bill because it's much more, it's bigger than me. This is about a bill for the American people, defending our God-given natural rights, our Second Amendment constitutional rights. And I think leadership realizes that.
And so does the gas stove bill come back to the floor, and will the House Freedom Caucus vote on it?
Well, it's still possible to bring that back to the floor. I just know that I believe the next bill that comes to the floor is going to be the pistol stabilizing brace bill on Tuesday.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, thanks very much. We'll be watching all of the happenings. Andrew Clyde is in D.C. this morning. Thank you, sir.